everyone doing? Good. If you guys want to come, you guys can sit on these little mats. Come close, okay? You're so far. Mom, everyone, come on. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to explain everything. I'm first going to just go over nutrition in general. Okay, so I'm going to touch very lightly on everything, and then I'll explain like this exact like nutrition challenge that we're doing. Okay, and I'll explain all the little details of it, and then lastly, I'll answer any questions that I possibly can. You guys want to pass those out? So that's explaining everything. That tells you literally everything. You should have no questions if you read all that. So first off, I just want to explain that like I'm not certified. I'm not like a nutritionist. I didn't go to school for 7 years. But I just wanted to share kind of what has changed me. So I used to be kind of like I've always kind of been into CrossFit a little bit growing up, and then I always surfed. And then I did CrossFit for like 3 years. I really liked it. And then I went to college and it kind of went all downhill. And I got bigger. I gained a bunch of weight and I kind of was just like, bleh. And then I came back and I started CrossFit again. And then I was like, man, this sucks. Like I'm a lot bigger. And I realized that if I didn't dial in my nutrition, that my results in the gym wouldn't come close. So a lot of times we come in here and we have all these PRs, like, okay, I want to get in the 300s with my back squat. We have all these like goals and we treat the gym so seriously, especially CrossFit, right? But then with nutrition, I'll ask people, hey, how do you eat? Every time. I eat good. I'm like, really? Oh, okay. So you eat good, right on. Then we're good. You know, it's this like misconception of either they don't care or they're misinformed, okay? So nutrition is the base. So if you guys ever see that pyramid of fitness that CrossFit's made, it's not Metcon on the bottom. It's not even sleep. It's nutrition. Nutrition is at that bottom. The next is metabolic conditioning or whatever. I don't know what the next. But the bottom is nutrition, okay? So I'm just going to give to what my knowledge is, okay? The extent of what I know. Once I dialed in my nutrition, I lost 35 pounds, and I was like, wow, so much easier to do a pull-up. You know, I can run. I shaved like 3 minutes off my mile. Like, I just started feeling, I realized that maybe this Western diet that we call it is not so good, okay? So a lot of what I'm going to be saying is a lot from Ben Bergeron. He coaches the top athletes in the CrossFit Games, and he also owns 3 CrossFit gyms throughout. He just does a lot. You guys, I really highly recommend. In the back of your guys' packet, there's resources, and I put his name in there. So just like a blanket statement, this is all recommendations, okay? I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you what to eat. It's all recommendations. I want to start off with a quote. So Michael Pollan, he's a great author. He's a great guy to kind of base. He's the least biased out there. He's really into eating real food, not too much, mostly plants. So that's what we're all basing it off of. In his book, Food Rules, tiny book, highly recommend it. He says, human beings ate well and kept themselves healthy for a long time before nutritional science came along to tell us how to do it. Okay, so back a long time ago, we ate great, we were fine. He says, it is entirely possible to eat healthily without knowing what an antioxidant is. Okay, so that's just something to think about. It's not like I don't want to go into the molecular structure of a strawberry to tell you that it's good for you. All right. So we're gonna base everything off of eat real food, not too much, mostly plants. All right. So what's food? Anyone? What's food? Well, that's true. Yeah. Calories. Okay. What is it? What is food?
Carbs and proteins and fats.
Okay, those are macronutrients. But what is just food? You think
Something
about
that grows in the ground
You put in your mouth.
and something that has
Did you read my
eyes.
notes?
Hey.
Exactly. So food is something that grew from the ground or had eyes or had a mother, right? That's food. So Ben said, he said, don't focus on what you can't eat, okay? He says, but rather on what we get to eat that's going to benefit us. So that's what I want. I don't want to be like, here's a list of what you can't eat. I would rather just say, here's a list of what we can eat, that we get to eat, that's going to benefit us, right? So I'm going to go through and I'm going to touch on all these, all right? Very, very briefly. I'm not going to get into all the little details like I was saying before. It doesn't matter exactly the details of all these things. So really quick nerd moment. I'm going to go over macronutrients and micronutrients. This is the only thing you guys are going to really need to know the difference. Macronutrients,
Carbs, proteins, and fats.
yeah. So it's like the nutrition label, like what you kind of see: carb, protein, and fat. That's what macronutrients. Things big. Okay. A micronutrient is the tiny little things like zinc and calcium and vitamin C. Okay. Both of those things matter. So I'll be saying like macros or macronutrients and micronutrients. Okay. That's the difference there. So first, let's start with veggies. All right. So vegetables is one of the most highest in micronutrients. Okay, so not that macronutrients, not so much. Like if you look at a calorie of a piece of kale, it's like probably 1. But if you look at the amount of vitamin C that's in that, right? So micronutrients compared to macronutrients in kale, let's say, it's very high in micronutrients. That's why we eat it. I don't eat it because I need the calories from it. I eat it because I need the micronutrients from that. Okay, so it's one of the most beneficial foods there are. So that's why in this diet, I'll go over the details. We are going to eat tons and tons of veggies. So they say don't discriminate, eat them all. Okay, green beans, eat them. Eat vegetables. Okay, no one eats enough vegetables. Secondly is meat. All right, so everyone has a different view of this. I'm just gonna go off. Eat real food, not too much, mostly plants. Okay, so if it had a mother at eyes, let's eat it. All right. So I like to go for more of the grass-fed, organic stuff. We could go into all the details of that, or you guys could just watch more documentaries. But for the most part, let's just stay with the grass-fed, organic, if we can. If we can. All right. Avoid the processed stuff. We don't want the sausages and the bacons and the turkey meat. That's all been processed and has added fillers in there. Okay. Next is fruit. All right. So I love fruits. It's pretty simple. Let's have 2 to 3 servings a day. Okay, so have an apple in the morning, maybe a banana midday, and a pear at night. Okay. The only thing we like to keep an eye out: fruits, grapes. Just like veggies, it's very high in micronutrients, but it's also high in macronutrients. It's high in carbs. So we're counting those as our carbs. Okay. Couple things to keep in mind, just in general. The tropical fruits, banana, mango, pineapple, those are a lot higher in carbohydrate. Not bad, just if you have a cup of mango compared to a cup of blueberries, there's just different macronutrients there. Like I said, it's not bad, just something to keep an eye out. Next, we're going over nuts, seeds, and oils. What do we think about these? They're fats, okay? They're good. Depends. If you're like keto, leave, please. No, I'm just kidding. Joking. So now, we need fats in our diet, right? So a couple things to keep in mind with this is just in moderation. All right, so if you have a whole bowl of almond butter, I could do that, maybe 2. Like, I love almond butter. It's in moderation, all right? So one serving size, we like to kind of go based off of our thumb, okay? If you have a big thumb, good on you. So we kind of like to go off our thumb on that one, or like 1 to 2 tablespoons, depending on what it is. So if it's nuts and seeds, just a handful, okay? If it's some olive oil on your salad, just think of it maybe like a tablespoon or 2. All right, just don't overdo it. Couple things, like a little nerd moment with as far as cooking with oils. Just by the way, with this whole challenge, we're not counting the oils that we cook. Okay, we're not counting those. So, but with cooking with oils, we like to judge the what kind of oil to cook with. We base it off of its smoking temperature. So at what temperature does it start to smoke? Once it starts to smoke, the molecular, that's all that is. So I like to cook with coconut oil because it has a higher smoking rate. I could put it in the oven and it's not gonna start smoking as fast as, let's say, olive oil would, okay? Okay, so starch, next. What do we think about starch? Yeah, it's a good stuff. So yes, in moderation, all right? So it's really depending on your activity level, okay? If you're an Ironman triathlete, starches is gonna look a lot different in your life than if you go to the gym twice a week, all right? So if you're very active, very highly active, we're gonna want to seek out more starch, okay? Simply put. Next is sugar and processed foods. Thoughts, comments? It's in life, yeah. You can avoid it though. It's bad. It's bad. And sadly, it's in everything. Everything that we love.
Fermented sugar.
Yes. So this is my statement. If you guys stick to eating real food, you'll naturally avoid these things. Okay? That's it. Very simple. Sugar is anything added sugar. Okay, so I'm talking honey, maple syrup, agave. All these things is added sugar. They are hidden in words like cane sugar, juice concentrate, rice syrup, that type of thing. They like to like organic cane sugar. Okay, it's cane sugar. I don't know. So we want to avoid those things, okay? So I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I just won't. Here's another quote by Ben. He said, if you can avoid these things and simply eat real food, you are 85% of the way there in avoiding disease. Okay. Another thought on processed food is not only can processing of food remove its nutrients and add toxic chemicals, but it makes food more readily absorbable, which can be a problem in our insulin and fat metabolism, right? So that's why we don't like processed food. That was by Michael Pollan. All right, guys, dairy. What do we think about dairy? What do we think about it? It's good? So it's hard to say it's good or bad, right? Because it's more one of those natural things. I just tell people it depends on how your body reacts to it. I personally can't have dairy. I can have a little bit. Really depends on how your body reacts to it and just having that in moderation. Okay? So for these 6 weeks, we won't have dairy. The only added dairy that we'll have is grass-fed butter and heavy, it's in there, heavy whipping cream. Something like that. Not heavy whipping cream. What's it called? Yeah, grass-fed heavy cream. So it's how your body reacts to it. It's how your body reacts to it, Jay.
Butter and not ghee. Butter's okay?
Grass-fed butter, yeah. If your body, for me, I don't know, I'm gonna try it, but I suggest this is a perfect time to take it completely out of your diet, see how you feel, and at the end of the 6 weeks, add it back in and see how you feel, okay? If your body's like, yeah, we could do a little bit of that, then sweet. If not, just avoid it altogether, okay?
Now, is that considered ghee?
Yeah, ghee is grass-fed butter, I believe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I believe so.
It's actually, they cook it down and they remove the solids. And then
Oh, okay.
And then they let it cool again.
So it's still from butter, grass-fed butter, okay, cool.
It tastes like
Yeah.
Not on this diet specifically, but just in general, guys. A good kind of dairy to look for is like a Greek yogurt, like a whole/raw milk. Raw milk's really good. And then grass-fed butter. That's really all I know about that because I don't eat dairy, so do your research. Next, we're gonna go legumes. What are legumes? Beans, lentils, peanuts, hummus. Alright? So what are they? What macronutrient are they? They're carbs. So that, right? So some people think, oh, it's my bean. This just wants some protein. Just wait. So this is a real food, came from the ground. That's good. But a lot of times, I don't want to get super into it, but as we eat certain beans, it prohibits the absorption in our stomach from other nutrients within that meal. Are we good? So we stay away from them. And here's an example why. So just within your normal day life, after this whole thing, if you guys want to add them back, feel free, but you're going to count them as a starch. So it's the same equivalent as having some pasta or some potatoes. Example, 1 cup. Although 1 cup of black beans has 39 grams of protein, 1 cup of black beans, 39 grams of protein. Like, oh, that's awesome, that's like a steak. But it has 120 carbs. So if you think about it, that's like almost 3 bagels or 4.5 bananas, okay? So, you know, people are like, oh yeah, it's a protein. Yeah, but look at all the starch in it as well. You're eating almost 3 bagels. Sorry, Chipotle. All right, so next is alcohol. What do we think about alcohol? Be quiet.
gross.
Tastes bad, gross. All right, so I actually don't know much about alcohol because I don't drink, but all that I've read from it is avoid it if you can. Okay, avoid it if you can. It has no nutritional benefit. No nutritional benefit. Now, some people say a glass of wine is good for you, right? They live longer and all this stuff, but something you're not keeping in mind is that the people that usually enjoy that glass of wine at night is also living a better life, a more healthy life also, okay? So, do your research. Do your research. I haven't done much research.
Let me add to the alcohol,
Yeah.
because I know.
Yeah,
So
please.
if you guys drink, it's going to take your metabolism and it's going to focus, instead of burning the food that you ate as good energy, it's going to focus on burning that alcohol. So it's going to take all of that, everything that your body has to get rid of that alcohol in your body, because you're not supposed to have that alcohol in your body. And it also turns into sugar. So it may not have any calories like vodka or wine, is very low in carbs, but it's going to turn into sugar and your body's going to metabolize it, and it's going to slow everything down. Like, that's the main thing, is it's just puts your body into a halt.
I'm hearing in moderation.
In zero. Yeah, in zero. If you guys are serious about results, cut out the alcohol for 6 weeks. I mean, try for 10 days and you'll see a difference in your body. It's crazy, okay?
And if you want something to drink, just go for coffee.
Or some sparkling water. Like, yeah.
All right, guys. So next thing we have is quantity and macros. Okay, so this is so if you explain, this is the model that CrossFit gives us. Okay, when they teach us at our L1 seminar, they write this up on the board and they explain this. So the average person, if they want to move from sick, let's say they have disease, obesity, whatever, if they want to move from sick to well, we look at what they're eating. So we go to the quality. What are you eating? Twinkies? Okay, let's have some apples. Okay? So we go from what they're eating. Now let's say they're well, right? They get off the medication, they lost some weight. Now what? Now I want to be fit. I want to be fit. I don't want to just be well, I want to be fit. How do I move from well to fit? Now we look at quantity. How much are you eating? How much? So how much apples are you eating? How much steak are you eating? How much rice are you eating? Okay? So that's what we're doing here. This challenge is just combining those two things, quality and quantity. Okay? So with quantity, macros, like we explained, it's protein, carbs, and fat. Okay? So here's just like a little tip. Kind of like, I'm going to start kind of transitioning into what we're going to be doing. Just in normal day life, not in this challenge, a good way to go is fill up your entire plate with veggies. Okay? Fill that up. Fill it up all the way. No less than 2 cups. Then add your protein, about a palm size, 4 to 8 ounces, depending how big you are. Add some protein. Next, add some fat. Maybe you can put some olive oil, okay, avocado, and then add a carb, about a palm size, about a handful of carb. And there's your meal. The end. Okay? Very simple.
Can you say that one more time?
So first, entire plate of veggies.
Yep.
Then you're gonna add your palm size of meat. 4 to 8 ounces, depending on your size. Then you add your fat, which is about 2 tablespoons, 1 tablespoon, thumb size. And then lastly, add your carb. Okay, so that's about a cup or about a handful of carbohydrate. So I'm gonna go into the challenge now. Okay, I'm gonna explain exactly what we're doing. Do we have an extra one of those?
Yeah, there you
Watch it, Ernie. All right, guys. So, do you guys have any questions with this? What's up?
Does a tomato count as a veggie or a fruit?
Veggie.
That's a great question.
And
That
also,
is good.
do you? I'm like,
Go ahead.
Do you have to eat fruit? Is it a requirement?
No.
Okay.
But I suggest it. It's high in micronutrients
And
too.
so if you fill that tray with vegetables, can we also have like a salad on the side?
Yeah, I'll explain that. Yeah, I'll explain that. What's up?
Are we doing calories?
No. Yeah. Any other questions? I'm going to explain the actual challenge right now. I was just saying any questions about the food that we went over. All right. So on the second page, the food list. Okay, so this is what we're eating. This is why we said Whole30, because this is basically Whole30. Little differences. So with Whole30, they don't really talk about how much you eat as much. They're kind of just like, eat. And they're like, okay, right? For me, I'm like, yes, Whole30, it's Whole30. It's, you know, no. So that's why we're doing the whole measurement thing, okay? So basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this little container here, okay? Protein, carbs, and veggies, okay? So with protein, you pick from the protein list, you do fish, meat, any type of meat. It's not processed, eat it. Meat, okay? Or eggs. That's your protein, all right? Like I said, go for the organic and grass-fed if you can. Trader Joe's has grass-fed steak for pretty cheap, and I just found out, and I was really excited. All right, next, veggies. What veggies? Yes, yes, eat them. Eat the vegetables. Don't discriminate.
Even
All right.
corn?
What?
Even corn?
Eat them. Ooh.
Corn has like no nutritional value.
Who said that? Corn is a starch? All right. Let's do no corn. Corn? No corn. No corn. No corn. I'm sorry. I don't know. No corn. No corn. All right, guys. So for carbs, okay, for carbs, you get to pick from sweet potato, white potato, any potato, okay? Red potato, yellow potato, any potato.
Sweet potato.
What's up? Yeah, any potato. All right, we got squash, any squash, butternut, you got spaghetti. Yeah, any type of squash, and then any fruit, okay? So fill this second up with anything, any type of fruit or from the list. Okay, and then our fats. We have avocado, a serving size. Remember, it's a thumb size. So about a thumb size is like a fourth of an avocado. Okay, a fourth. Okay. We got nuts and seeds, discluding peanuts, because remember that was part of the whole legume thing.
So
Okay.
cashews are okay.
Yes.
And almonds.
Yes. Then we have almond butter. What's up?
So that fat, like if you don't want to do like an avocado, you said you could do a handful of nuts.
Yeah. Or olive oil. Okay, we got coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil, and grass-fed butter. With that grass-fed butter, it's depending on how your body responds to it. So really pay attention. That kind of goes for everything in this, okay? Some people are intolerant to eggs, so really try to listen to your body. Okay, for liquids, guys, we have water, obviously, black coffee, tea, sparkling water, and then I'm limiting you guys up to about 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk or coconut milk, okay? So for those coffee lovers, you're welcome. I was like, all right, if you guys want to like go Whole 30, a good coconut milk to go with is like at Trader Joe's, they have a coconut milk that's literally they have a canned coconut milk that's only coconut and water. That's the only ingredients. So the other stuff has some additives, just keep an eye out. All right, next page is serving size. So this is how much do I eat, right? How much do I eat? With this, guys, we're only eating from here. Not in the sense of literally out of here, but we're only eating what's in the measurement of this. We're not snacking. We're not going back for seconds. You're not going to have an apple midday. None of that. Only this. So, like I said, fill up the protein to the brim, okay? To the brim. You guys are like, no. Guys, come on. Okay, fill up to the brim. Same thing with carbs, okay? And here's the thing with veggies. Here's the whole thing with veggies. You cannot go under, okay? So you can't have like a couple tomatoes, okay? You cannot go under the brim. With carbs and protein, you can't go over. With veggies, you can't go under, okay? It has to at least be this. And with vegetables, and this is the plot twist, it's unlimited. Have as many vegetables as you could possibly eat each meal. Seriously. So that's why we should never be hungry on this, because you can literally have unlimited veggies. You guys should see some of the salads I make. It's pretty gnarly. They're like, oh, is that for your family? I'm like, it's not. All right, and then on top of that, what's up?
Did you say no snacking?
Yes. No snacking.
Can you snack vegetables?
No snacking. No snacking.
So what if you don't finish?
What's up? No, just finish it.
Oh, yes.
And then on top of this, guys, we're gonna add our thumb size of fat, okay? So let's say I fill this up with some steak, some sweet potatoes, and a bunch of like steamed veggies, okay? And then on top, I'll throw like a fourth of an avocado or some olive oil or whatever, okay? Like I said, what the oils you guys are cooking with, don't count those, okay? Just cook with them. Don't be like that. So next is how many trays do you eat? Okay, so the way we're measuring that is if you weigh 165 pounds, if you're above 165 pounds, you get 4 of these trays a day. 4. If you're under 165, you're 164, you get 3. Okay? So, a couple thoughts on that, guys, is we're taking 6 weeks to really dial in our nutrition, right? we're trying to, I mean, I'm doing this. I'm not like, oh, I need to lose weight. I just like, I really want to, okay, dial it in even more. Why not? So, like I said, remember how I said before, we're not looking at what we can't eat. Oh, I can't have 4, I can't have 3. Look, you can have 3. Let's focus on what we can eat, okay? Side note, most of you guys do CrossFit, so I know you're thinking like, well, what about my protein? So we're gonna do a body fat like testing tomorrow to see how much what we're at. I'm gonna read on the next page. It says what about foods. We're gonna go over that, but at the bottom it says pre and post workout. So I'm gonna read that. It says pre and post workout supplements are made for performance. That's why we have them, right? So they're for performance. If you are not where you want to be performance-wise, okay? So if I'm not running the fastest mile or whatever, if I'm not where I want to be performance-wise, then performance is not your priority. I don't know what that means. I think that was a typo. But like, let me just move on. Let me just explain what I'm trying to say. Seriously, that is a typo. For that reason, if you are a man over 15 body fat or a woman over 22 body fat, then you don't need to take pre or post workout. Because your goal is not for performance. That's what it meant. Your goal is not for performance. Your goal is to try to get where you need to be. And then once you're there, heck yeah, dial it in, right? Dial it in. So if you are in that window, like let's say you are in that window body fat wise, then maybe you have like a protein shake with some whey protein isolate depending on how your body responds to that. Okay? So what's up?
So you're focusing on pre and post workout stuff, but what about recovery?
Post, that's like the post workout, yeah. So because if you read most of that stuff, dude, it's junk. Like most of it really is. It's kind of sad.
Or
So
inhibitors?
what's up?
Vaso inhibitors?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm just saying that a lot of that, the ingredients, is just all this stuff that we don't need. If we're eating real food, that's how we were made to, right? That's how we were made to perform. So you don't need that stuff.
Right.
What's that?
I know on Whole30, if you're doing a workout, you can have a pre and a post, and it might be a banana before and a snack after. So
Yeah, we're not doing Whole30. Like, we're not doing specifically Whole30. Right. Mm-hmm. So if you are where you need to be, body fat wise, if you are where you need to be, then let's add that protein around the workout. If not, if you're like, dude, I need to lose like 40 pounds, don't even think about that. Okay, this is your priority. Okay. Let me go back really quick. Okay, so okay. So remember, unlimited veggies. So an idea, guys, this is what I would do. This is exactly how I do it. In the morning, for lunch, I would fill this thing up with grilled chicken, make a bunch of sweet potato hash, okay, maybe put some like cucumber, tomato, get a huge bowl of lettuce, just bunch of lettuce, and just fill that, like throw that on there, just, okay? Put some olive oil, vinegar, call it a day, okay? So, you don't have to eat all these, like don't be weird, like you're at a party and you're like, you know? You don't have to be like that, okay? So eyeball it, like after a while, this is why these are good to use, because you start to be like, wow, that's a lot of like sweet potatoes, or like, are you serious, you know? So you start to really gauge how much we should be eating. So if you go out to dinner with some friends, for instance, order meat, order some vegetables, and order like a potato, okay? So have like meat, potato, some veggies. And just eyeball it. If you're like, okay, that's a lot of meat, take it home. Like eat a half, take it home. Okay? Don't be weird. Don't be weird. But when you're home or if you're packing, dude, you would do that more. All right, guys. So.